Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the launch of Rokimoto. We got some more details on it. We finally saw the figures, a lot of cool stuff we want to go into. And on the Funko front, Bitty Pops are not going anywhere as much as I want to get rid of them. They look like they're sticking around. There's a ton of stuff that's coming out. We can't wait to talk about it.
Collecting is the way.
Now sit back for the thrill as we bring you some joy.
Now let's chat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Chatter. This is episode 126. I am Migs here with Trey, Charlie. We're back again for another episode, which we're going to talk about, like I said in the intro, Rokimoto. Obviously, we hinted towards it a while ago. We talked about how it was going to be the event. All that stuff happened, and we didn't have an episode last week, so we're going to cover that now. Everything that we know about that happened at the event, some more about the products, a little bit more details and stuff like that, and kind of go from what we think about it now that we have more information. We do have a lot of Funko news. A lot of stuff was announced. We had the Toy Fair in New York, actually, which Funko had tons and tons of new products centered around the Bitty Pop, which is, I don't get it, but we're going to get into it because there's a ton of different SKUs and products that they're going to be doing that. Bunch of other stuff, some other Funko Pops coming out later. We have some news on Funko specifically, whatever. We'll kind of see where the episode goes from there. But we'll start off with the Rokimoto stuff because, of course, that's what our big topic was last episode that we had, obviously, because it was right before the event. We were like getting all hyped up. We didn't know too much about it, just a little bit here and there. And now we saw a little bit more. So fortunately, we didn't, and none of us went to the event, but we did see obviously a lot of stuff that people were posting, a lot of influencers and a lot of people that were there, some videos, pictures, and things like that. And it seemed like it was a pretty cool, fun overall place. It was at Miniso, of course, the store, not little, it's a big store in Times Square. I think it's like a flagship store for them.
Yeah.
So obviously it's pretty big. They have tons of products, tons of stuff that they sell there. And now Rokimoto is in there. But yeah, kind of what did you guys think after seeing a little bit more of the products and getting people to open them up and some other details that we got to see a little bit more of after kind of just seeing from the outside looking in? What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm actually more excited for the product now after seeing like people actually open it, talk about it. The one thing that really got me excited was, and shout out to Chris and Heather from the Gasselcast, they were at the event and they filmed the entire VIP part and put it up on their YouTube channel, which I think is me seeing that. Filmmaker Mike's exactly who we all expect he is. I mean, I've met him before. I've always gushed about him, but like this project with him and Dave, it just shows how much it really means to him. And I think that's what's getting me excited about it. I said this in the last episode. If it wasn't him behind this, I probably would never, I'd walk right by these collectibles on the shelf. But just his passion, his just story around them. And I think they're only gonna get better. I think they're everything that we loved about Funko actually in its prime for us. He's brought over to this company, the philosophies for it. Once again, I maybe us as a whole maybe wish the figures were different in terms of how they looked per se for us all to want to collect them. But I love that he has the chase. He has more products coming down the line. It looks like he's always going to be innovative. And he did announce IPs are going to be coming too. Where I'll leave it before I hand it off to you, Trey, is, I mean, this definitely looks like the beginning of Mike again from Funko. A lot of his ideas starting off with, these are his characters he's making. Leo being the main one. He is now the Freddy Funko, if I'm going to compare them. And it also makes me look like, Mike, before he left, the art design for Rokimoto is actually what Funko's now been recently using for Freddy, Franny, and Proto, that like retro kind of look. It almost looks like it's legitimately he took that right over to new Rokimoto. It was his, design, and he probably was the one who wanted to introduce new friends, Franny and Proto. Left, probably didn't want him to do some of the things he wanted, and now he's doing whatever the F he wants over at Rokimoto for better or worse. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with you. After looking at the products and stuff, I was just like you said, Charlie. I would have passed right by him. I think if anything, I'll try to get one of those boxes just to kind of have and just kind of look at the product and actually have it in hand.
Yeah.
Because I do like the whole. I mean, we were like we've mentioned before in the previous episodes, we were like soda guys. So like I like the mystery. I like getting the mystery minis. I miss the sodas,
Yeah.
and this is as close as we're gonna get. Because I mean, as of right now, Funko's not
Doing them.
Yeah, they're not getting us anything that's like like a soda. It doesn't give us that chase. It doesn't give us any of that, or a slurp prize, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I think for me, I think I might get like again maybe just like one or two, and then what, like you said, the Gasolcast did say that they're going to have licenses. Yeah, maybe once we see that, it might intrigue me a little bit more, but I'm not going to jump the gun, kind of like how we did with Thrill Joy and how, we were
Fair.
all about it. And then, that's a whole few episodes for that whole thing. But yeah, I don't want to jump the gun just yet. Like I said, if I happen to find some or if I get some, it's going to be very few. Nothing too crazy because I don't think we've heard of how much they are. Do we know yet?
We haven't had a price, but
No.
from what I've heard, so our shout out to our boy Thrilljoy Seeker. If you guys don't follow him, go. He was actually at the event, and he said he heard some rumblings that they, may cost between like 20 to 25. Like people, no one said officially. But I think people were just kind of chatting about the price. I think $19.99. That's not a bad price in my opinion because the figures do. I mean, I wish they were probably a little, the original prices of sodas, but I think they are a little bigger than sodas are. The figures actually do look better quality.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're also getting patches in there instead of the pogs. I mean, just everything about it. And even though the packaging is plastic, it looks gorgeous. I mean, so many people have been debating of influencers I watch, like, you can't like, it's almost Mike is intending for you to throw these out, but keep them as well if you want to because they look so nice. But
Yeah.
it's not like, do I open this? Do I not open it? Which we joke about all the time. Like, there's no option here. You open them up and you get the figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said it kind of the last time we spoke about it, like they definitely look like cool. I do like the way, the design and obviously the cup thing was great. You don't really see that anywhere, so that's a fun way to get like into these, like, whole ramen thing and everything. You peel off the top, you got the like quote unquote seasoning packet, which has like the patch in it. So all of that was awesome. I just don't know. I'm not like, oh my God, I gotta have these still. Like I still feel like I don't really want them at all. Maybe one, even if it was licensed, I don't know if I would. It's just not really my style per se. And it's not because it's like, because obviously it's Japanese influence, right? And that's not even just the fact with that. I've seen, obviously, I've gone into it now, some other Japanese toys that I'm very, very into. And these just don't really do that for me, but they're fun and they're new and they're different. And I do see Mike's like kind of vision, and you can tell he has a lot of passion behind this. I even used to say it in the past when it came to like Funko Pops, like it was always interesting that he has such a close relationship with the Philippines and with other like Asian countries where he did a lot of like collab stuff with like Funko Pop specifically, and you could tell he really loved that like genre, that type of stuff. And like you said it, I think, Charlie, in the last episode, one of the backgrounds of his videos during these little teasers for Rokimoto was like all Japanese based like figures and stuff, right? So he obviously loves that. So in that aspect, I love it. Like it makes sense. He's doing what he wants. It's great. It's just like it's something I feel like that maybe is more exciting now because it's new and it's Mike, and then it's just gonna be interesting to see what happens because we did this with Brian. And
Yep.
Brian's a big deal, and he brought people over, and it was exciting for Thrilljoy, and now that's like non-existent. Like there's no hype behind Thrilljoy. I'm sorry, and
No.
I just don't know if that'll happen with this. like, but I can see them if they're gonna stick to the mini so's, maybe they get into Pop Mart, that kind of style, like it'll sell there and it'll be great. But I think it's just for that specific type of collector, right? Like I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that's what he's getting now. When, like you said before, he's gonna get into IPs. They did announce officially, so we'll say now. Obviously, it was like Snoopy, right?
Yep,
Peanuts.
the Peanuts.
So that's like the first one. That's an interesting one because there's a lot of characters, so it kind of makes sense, right? Like he can do multiple ones, and then you're gonna have like the surprise, quote unquote, like chase. Which interesting, it's 1 in 4 chance, so you got like a higher chance to get one of those. It's not like a 1 in 6 like Funko, so that makes it kind of cool and fun. But I just wonder where he's going to go with this. So it does seem like maybe we were wrong that he's not going to be making other products and it's strictly going to be this Rokimoto stuff, and he's just going to branch it out to IPs and stuff. Because remember, we were going back and forth, like, is he going to make IPs of these like ramen cups and whatever? And they didn't officially say it or show us anything, but I'm assuming that's what they made it seem like. It's going to be Snoopy characters looking like these guys, right?
I mean, that's the way I took it. I still do believe we're in a world where this is a line of his Funmaker Inc. Funmaker Inc. is Funko, and Rokimoto, I'll just say, is the Wacky Wobbler. And then we will get the pop. We will then get the soda. Like, that's how I feel he's going with this company. I actually don't even think they'll all be Japanese looking, in my opinion. Like down the line, I mean, this is still early on, but I think this is the line that he was most passionate about. And I also I've really thought long and hard about this with the whole, I'm just going to keep using Leo. Like, think back if we were there when we saw the very first Freddy Funko Wacky Wobbler, we'd probably be like, what is this? Some dude with like a white shirt on, bow tie. Like, we probably wouldn't have been as excited as what it became. And I feel like Mike is going to do that again with these characters. We may not be excited about them in their,
normal form,
their normal
casual
form, exactly.
clothes.
Yes, they're generic like astronaut thing, but I'll use Stray. If they come out with the Turtles one, probably going to be pretty sick. If they come out with the Star Wars one, I mean, like
almost wearing almost like a onesie, right? Like they would just have the suit, kind of like you know what I mean, like kind of like how he looks like the little Eskimo, but just have like the turtle suit. Just what I mean, if that makes any sense, or him as Scooby Doo, or I don't know, maybe just something. I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
But I also
kind of hope they don't do that. I kind of hope they just make Scooby Doo. They make Turtle.
The actual,
like they don't.
I mean, that would be cool too. Yeah, for sure.
Because I think then it's like too much like what Funko did with Freddy's, and then the Freddy sodas ended up being like Freddy literally wearing an outfit that was this, or Freddy whatever, and it wasn't just like Freddy as the thing, which obviously we got that too. But I think like if it's completely like, because we have animal characters, for instance, right? So obviously, that they can make, it's not just human or people, right? So they can make like Snoopy, for instance, and all those characters, like some are people, some aren't. So they can kind of mix that in there, and it just makes you think like, okay, it makes it. But it's like, are they gonna, like Troy said, is it gonna be Asian Japanese style base? Because like Peanuts isn't really that. So like, does that make sense for that?
It's gonna be interesting to see those.
What he's gonna do with it
when we finally see those. Like, that'll really give you the direction of what's going on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, whatever that's gonna look like, we'll know. Okay, that's what everything's gonna look like, or it's gonna just be
something close to it. Yeah.
I also just look at like the more I've analyzed this new project, it's kind of like Mike is just gonna do what he liked that he did at Funko that worked. He truly, I think, left Funko because he was just like, I can't take, and we've talked about this before, him and Brian, the pressures of it being a public company, answering to the man, not doing what they want. Because I don't care what anyone says. I mean, these are sodas. These are Funko sodas. Like, at the end of the day, it's the exact same logic.
Concept. Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing, too, that we've talked, brought up about Thrilljoy earlier, and I still love Brian, but the hype was there when Brian was the cheerleader out on the front lines. He's disappeared, which I'll be honest, I did not expect that to happen. Mike is never going to let that happen, which I also think is why he at the end of the day, if I don't always like comparing these companies, but if there's going to be one winner out of the two, I don't
And
see how it's not Funmaker Inc. over Thrilljoy.
it's true. Because
Yeah.
Mike likes being out there. He likes
Yeah.
making the content, even though it's super random and weird with his little intro, which is kind of becoming iconic, right? Because
Yeah.
that's him. And Brian, like you said, the only time he's ever come out and said something is because he has to issue a statement because of the shipping bullcrap or whatever, or
Yeah, problem. He
Yeah.
has not really shown face, unfortunately, since the launch. And if there's an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different. I don't know. And I agree. I mean, we don't know. It could, maybe Mike could turn out like that. But if we had to put money on it and make a bet, like he wouldn't do
Yeah.
that. He'd be the guy to be in front. And even if maybe he stepped back more, he has his Dave.
Yeah.
So like he has someone who can still also do it because he's just as passionate. And you can tell he's very similar, cut from the same kind of cloth as Mike, where Brian's
Doesn't
was
have
kind of just
that.
Brian, and he didn't really have that. And they thought they did with other people, and I don't know. We just, we
He
have our
has
thoughts with that,
suits. He just has suits.
but it was, it's very different. But I mean, back to just like the products. Obviously, we did see the box that they gave out specifically for the event. It was exclusive to that event. It was $100, which is interesting because if the pricing is going to be like $20, like
It
that
was a good
alone
deal.
was actually a very good deal because you got 6 figures for
Yes.
$100. You also got 2 posters. And you also had, I think, one of the exclusive figures, I believe,
Yep.
or maybe that was just being handed out. I don't know.
No,
if
you
everyone
got it if
that.
you bought it. You got it if you bought it.
So, and that one was like a mini so exclusive. So he was wearing, like Trey was talking about, it's the Leo character just wearing something, another branded product, right? So, but we did get like a raccoon character and we got a lion, which I know we kind of somewhat saw that in the background in the last video we talked about it, but we officially saw them. I don't think we got like names of them though.
No, they were just prototypes. That was another thing that was awesome to see in like the Gasolcast's video. They were out on display and they actually said they were hand painted to make look like they were the real
ones
product.
on the wall.
Yep.
But I'm
Oh,
saying in
wow.
the box there was a lion and there was a raccoon.
No.
That's what it shows on the flyer.
The only ones that came in the box were the ones that we've seen. The penguin, Leo, the like Eskimo Leo.
That's interesting for them to put that then. Because on the flyer it says Rokimoto Launch Box, $100, 1 per customer, and it shows 6 figures. It shows a Leo, the penguin, the raccoon, the girl and the tiger, Oxalotl, and the lion.
Well, it's funny you say that. So
in the cups and everything.
You're not wrong, because then this could be didn't get done in time. Minoso is in charge of this, because I went to the store because my office building is legitimately right next to it, and that is one of the characters that is plastered on the outside of the building still. Which, if I want to now talk about not like stroking Mike over this launch, he yeah it we talked about this just in our group chat, and I guess they said this, but I still think it's weird. It's weird to have a launch party at a retail store and then they're not available for customers after.
Yep.
Like, in my opinion, what should have been special about the launch was you got that limited edition figure, you got to meet Mike, you got to meet Dave, AJ, etc. We didn't talk about this yet. They launched their first article of clothing, which it looks like AJ is going to be making a shit ton of clothing for the company. It also, the t-shirts remind me of a Funko t-shirt. Like, he's going with that, not what Brian's doing over at Thrilljoy. And that was limited edition only to the event. And another thing, it was actually super affordable. I found out they were only $25, which for the t-shirt, which
that is a sweater, but I think
good
only
price.
Mike had that.
I think only. I don't know if they were for sale. They may have been, and I don't know if the price of those if they were, but the t-shirt was $25. But yeah, then it's funny that the advertising is so plastered all over the store, but you can't buy anything. They should have been available to buy the next day, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to bring that up. Like, the one thing that was interesting was like this was a launch event, which, I mean, it was a launch of him talking about it, what it was going to be. They gave away stuff, but yeah, it was odd that we didn't get like actual product, and it kind of it's interesting because we saw this with Throwjoy when they didn't have as much product. They only had certain things, and it just makes you think like it's not that easy to really get all of this stuff going, and especially nowadays with everything that's going on. Like it's they launched this stuff just to kind of probably build the hype behind it, but we have no products. We don't have them yet.
Yeah.
So that makes it weird when we talk about like, okay, what is the actual price? We don't know because they still don't officially have them on sale. They haven't even showed them
They
on
don't even
sale.
have a website, right?
They don't have no, I don't think so. Yeah, I think they just have
Yeah,
the
which is weird.
Instagram. Yeah, they just have the Instagram, and Mike's obviously talking about it all the time. But like they partnered with Miniso, so this is supposed to be like the big thing. Like they're going to be selling it there. Essentially, that's kind of like what they made it seem like. But we're kind of in the dark a little bit because they haven't really said anything since then. It's just kind of been more like little quirky
Yeah.
videos to like
Yeah.
advertise the product itself, but not like say anything about when it's coming out or buying it anymore. And now we're past that time of when the unveiling came out and when this quote unquote launch came out. So now we're kind of just like, okay, what's the next thing? You know, like what happens next? So that's kind of
Do you
strange.
think it's sorry, Charlie, I know you're
No,
you
go. I will remember my thought.
okay. Do you think it's because, Mike left and then obviously Brian had left? But do you think they're trying to just obviously they're rushing it, but would you think of why they would even try to rush it considering they don't have the I mean, yes, they have some of the product, but they don't have all the product. Like why if they've been in these types of companies like Funko, like why would you want to rush something and not have the product? You know what I mean? Like have a full launch like Brian did at NYCC where he actually had stuff to sell.
I completely agree. I think it's really weird. I also, there are certain people that I was chatting with who was going to maybe try to get me a box. And when I found out that they were just the same, because Migs, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, I am like looking at this image now. I'm assuming Minoso made this, or those figures, yeah, they weren't given out, but it's clearly showing you that's what you're buying in the box. The box should have been special figures too, in my opinion. They're just going to be, it looks like kind of what you said, Migs, they got a good deal if it ends up being like $20 a figure.
Mhm.
It was like, okay, you came to our launch event. We basically gave you a few for free when it's all said and done, if you were to buy all of them. Because yeah, the lion, I even think someone asked, I think the other main face of the company now is Funmaker Gabby. And I think she was asked like, oh, what are the names? I think Psychic Inc. actually asked her like, oh, what are the names of these characters? Like she didn't know. Or she like played dumb and like didn't want to say because like it hasn't been said. So that's just like another hiccup of the launch, which is just strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's trying to compete with Brian? You think he was trying to compete with Brian? Like trying to also
Brian was there, no?
Yeah, Brian was there.
True, but Mike was also there for Brian before he and I don't know. I'm just thinking like
I think well, it's just interesting. I'm sure they're very supportive of each other, but
yeah.
I'm sure Mike looks at Throwjoy and like that's not for me.
Yeah.
Like there's just nothing about Mike basically wears a uniform 24/7. He's not like loving probably the style of the clothing for Throwjoy. And as well as like Mike's never been anything that's like we say it all the time, but the picks are big. I now have a few, and even though I was loving them in the beginning, you just can't buy any more of these. And people who are buying tons of them, sorry, hot take, you're just lying to yourself. They're huge. Unless you have a room that's legitimately just dedicated to picks, like they're too big. And they are too all in, and I'm not trying to like stop.
I'm just trying to help you out, Charlie. I don't want people just trying to help you out because I
This
want
is a family friendly channel.
I know. I'm just saying because there's some that are not family friendly, and I just want to make sure. I don't want you to be a meme. You know what I mean?
Thank you. No, if only we were that big, I would take the meme. I would take one for the team. But okay. Moral of my story is Thrill Joy has hurt itself because of their type of product, where Mike knows what worked at Funko. And, for all you know, there was a lot of behind the scenes arguing about the sodas and them getting rid of them. And one thing that I've always known about this, but when you do walk into Aminoso and how, a Pop Mart, I mean, the mystery culture for Japanese, Chinese products is like out of control, which is, I never really thought about it. That's probably why Mike loved the aspect of like a soda, and he's bringing that back. Like the chases for even the picks, like I don't want to keep comparing, like they're just not as exciting. It's just not the same either.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, the chases for these cups of fun are not really.
They're lame.
They're literally just sitting down eating ramen.
I agree. I'd rather
they're
get
all
the common.
exactly the same. Like you're getting no special like differences.
Agreed. You're all right in that, but I think it'll evolve over time. I mean, we've joked the original soda chases were really lame too. It took a while for them to become
different,
a little bit more.
Yeah,
and we still complained throughout the.
They were also limited. They were also a limited number.
Yeah, you're going to be able to grab this whenever at all times.
Yeah, unless it's a super chase.
We don't know that, but we assume that.
Yeah, unless it's a super chase, because nobody gets those. So
super rare.
No one gets those. I would like to think I don't always mind if the stuff isn't numbered, but like how Funko used to be in the beginning, they came out with a product of a pop. It was in the stores, sold out. You never saw it again unless you went on eBay.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that's what like these are. Like,
yeah, I could see it maybe getting restocked. You get it here, but then it over time,
we'll move on
whether
to
it's
the
like
next
a
one.
series or a season, like you get it, they're done, and then you come out with a new batch or a new collab or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
which that seems like kind of the route that he's going to go, especially if it's going to be the Japanese based type collectibles and mystery style, because that's kind of what they do, and then they'll come out with new sets and stuff like that, which that would be the smarter thing. And I'm glad you said the thing about the mystery stuff, because I think that's kind of what got me excited, because I mean, I did went into a Pop Mart this past weekend, and I've never really been in one. I've walked by them, whatever, but I was like, let me check them out, because there's this new La Boo Boo Monsters products, which they look sick, and I was like, let me check out, see what they have. And it was funny because they had a vending machine in the mall downstairs, and the vending machine, they were all sold out. So I was like, wow, there's really hype behind this. And these aren't even like the big ones that people are going for. It's just anything that has to do with that is just popular. So I was like, let me just run into the Pop Mart. And I go into the Pop Mart, and I'm just looking around. It's super bright in there, and they have so many different types of like sets and collectibles and Disney related and Marvel and like all these different things. And every one is a mystery box style like product. And you get these small boxes, and you see the list of what you can get on the back, and they all have, certain rarities and whatever. And it's just way more exciting. It's all blind boxes, and it's just like makes it super fun and exciting. And I actually did grab a couple. There's a set lazy yoga monsters, and it was exciting. I opened it up with my daughter, and she was like excited about it. And I feel like that's why I never bought into the biddies, which we're going to talk about in a second, but because they never went with that route. It seems like now they're trying to do that a little bit, which we'll talk about, but that wasn't what they did. They just came out with like all these excessive amount of products, and there was nothing special to it, like to me, and it wasn't exciting. Because like you guys said, sodas was huge. I loved sodas. Like I stopped collecting pops because I was collecting only sodas for like ever, and now obviously those really don't exist. So like this type of product is exciting, the Rokimoto thing, because it is kind of like that mystery. If you want to grab it, you grab it, and in the fact that it's not numbered, it's kind of like it's up to you. Like, it's not going to necessarily sell out right away, but eventually it might not come back. But, you get it when you want to get it. If you want to, if you don't, you wait for another set, right? And that's kind of like what I like about it. But I just don't know if I don't like the figures too much. Like, I don't like the penguin. I think the penguin is whack. I like all the other ones. Axolotl's pretty cool. I really think the penguin's like the worst one. I don't know what's up with that, but and I like penguins. I like my wife's favorite animal is a penguin.
I mean, the penguin's just like kind of cute, and that's it. Like, yeah. It's the worst out of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, like they should have figured out the lion and the raccoon. Those look cooler, but I don't know. We'll see when all this stuff officially comes out, and definitely let us know down below if you guys if you were at the event, because I know we have some friends and people that went. Let us know, how it was. I'm glad that Chris and Heather did film that because it was a really
Yeah.
fun, emotional. It was nice to see Mike, and he really was showing his passion, and he had DMC there, and he was like really passionate about him talking. And I was like, wow, I forgot that they had such a relationship because he does kind of do a lot of stuff in events. And then obviously AJ now we know is more so involved because he's the designer, creative designer, so he's making the shirts and stuff. So like seeing him and them all talking was really cool, and it made you like really appreciate it. And I do agree with Charlie. It's like it makes us like, even if we don't like the product so much, it makes us kind of more be willing to support it because of these people. And it doesn't mean that we're all going to go crazy and buy a bunch of them, but it just makes it better. Like
Also,
seeing
too, to go off what you just said, that also just shows how amazing Mike is. Like they like AJ, for example, he definitely had a quote unquote relationship with Funko, went to their events, was at fun
Mhm.
days and stuff. It was all because of Mike. They all were like, okay, bye, I'm gonna go help Mike.
Yeah.
Same with DMC. Like that's just, it just shows another thing. Everyone believes in him. Like I'm just excited to see what's more to come for that
Yeah.
company too.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, let us know. Comment down below, like we said. If you haven't already, make sure you are liking this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Really would appreciate it if you guys like our content. And we'll move on to the next topic. I did want to, transition over to it because I was talking about Bitty Pop. So we're definitely going to talk about some Bitty stuff because
Bitty.
this has been something that we've talked about in the past with Funko. And if you guys watch us or know about anything, if not, we'll let you know now. But Charlie's a big Biddy fan. I think Trey's kind of like the middle. Like some of the stuff, I just do not like any of the stuff, and I'm just super against it. I think it's dumb. I think it's whatever. And that was before now, and now I see even more stuff, and it's making me cringe even more because they are really running with this Biddy thing. They clearly like this is becoming their main product essentially. Like they're clearly still making pops. We're seeing them here and
Yep.
there, and we'll get batches of them all the time. The cons and stuff, they're gonna have lineups, but Biddy is like really sneaking its way into being like that soda where we had pop and soda was there, and now it's like pop
Great
and
way to
Biddy pop is
say
there.
it.
So is it cheaper for them? Yeah, maybe that's why they're doing it, but they're getting too crazy. And we're gonna talk about some products like they're coming out with way too many things, in my opinion, that they seem like they're trying to put their hands in way too many baskets at the same time. They want to be like this company, they want to be like that company, and this is like it's not working in my opinion, and it's too much and it's too overwhelming. And it's not even just those regular Bitty Pops anymore because I don't know what you guys think. If there's anything here that like you are excited for, but there was so much stuff like announced that as I was like earlier before we were recording, I was just kind of getting some notes down to what to talk about. And I was just like shocked at so much stuff that they're coming out with. And I don't know,
So
but you guys are more of the lovers of Biddy, so maybe you like
yeah,
some of this stuff. But
so I gotta like think about how I'm gonna say this because yes, I do like the biddies the most out of everyone here, but I haven't bought a biddy product since they launched. So it's not like I'm like this huge biddy person. Like I was trying to collect the Star Wars ones. Then I'm like, okay, they're making another line. They're making a Mandalorian one. Like I'm agreeing with you, makes like way too many. They're sitting on the shelves because of it. And I've said this a million times in the podcast, and I'll say it again. Yes, they screwed up how they presented this product to the public. Should have always been mystery style. It should have been exactly the way Doorables are. Once again, if you don't know about Doorables, look them up. They're amazing. It's exactly what Funko wants to be with this, and they screwed it up. And that now,
who makes doorables?
Just Play, which is like a toy company that makes a ton of, Doorables has even done a
Not
good.
Disney though, no?
Yeah, yes,
They're
but it's like,
exclusively Disney, basically.
yeah, it's a Disney product, but made by like Just Play makes a ton of like kids' toys. Like Disney is essentially, I'm assuming, licensed out this brand to them, and people go nuts for these kids and like a lot of like I feel like women collectors like who like think they're super cute. Like there's a Biddy, oh my god, there's adorable fandom that like we're not really aware of because it's not quote
Yeah.
unquote like collectors, but like adults do like these things. There's a
Yeah,
reason they
yeah.
came out with Star
Yeah.
Wars ones, which I did get. I mean, my son loves them.
Yeah, my
And like
daughter
I
does.
was like, oh, getting in the Star Wars ones was cool. Like I got a few of them, and we would open them. And this is what Funko
But
wanted Bitty to be. What?
but what's the most exciting thing about them?
That they're mystery. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mystery, and you don't. I'm trying to think because we have so many adorables in this house. I don't think there's a product where you actually see what is inside on the outside of the box. There's certain ones where, okay, I'm going to get the inside out set. They'll do some of those where you know everyone and there's going to be inside out
But
characters.
now which one are you going to pull?
Yeah. So, but they've never shown them. Like, I still think back the way they launched Biddies was so stupid with the 4 and the 1 mystery.
Yeah.
And like, those are the ones you still see everywhere. What they're coming out with now, if they launch Bitty this way, I think it would have been huge from the start. But with children, I'm not talking about us. This city thing is kind of cool in my opinion. Like I could see my son who loves Lego.
Yeah.
They're coming out with legitimately tracks where you could build an entire city. And the one thing though is weird though is the pop rides, for example, they don't have wheels on them. So like this, it just, they haven't like this idea is amazing, but it hasn't been designed correctly. Like it's not like you can actually have cars, but I could see Hot Wheel, like a little kid, like Hot Wheels are on these tracks with the Funko products, the towns. Like it looks amazing on paper, but it may be too late for them.
Yeah.
But at the toy fair, they legitimately had a sign. I think it says Bitty Pop's the future. It was part of their marketing. That was their big splash. The one thing that I loved, but once again, Funko is trying to appease too many people. They don't know what they want it to be. They need to pick a lane, like Doorables. And Doorables has, at times, made limited edition collector ones at San Diego Comic-Con. Those are like for the collectors. But those arcade ones, which I think are super sick, they like put them in a packaging where if you're an adult, you don't need to take it out. It's like a hanger, like an action figure comes in. But like, I do want the Tron one, for example, and Wreck-It Ralph, because those are perfect. I have to take them out. It looks cooler. Like, they shouldn't have put it in a packaging like that, like, they don't know who they want to hit. That's why this line is a mess, even though it should be huge.
Yeah. I agree. I completely agree. Because I think for the longest time, even with the Ninja Turtle ones, I didn't want to buy another 4-pack just to get the Casey Jones. Charlie, now you sent me the Casey Jones because you got lucky and got a second one. So for me, I was like, I'm never gonna go buy I'll just miss it in my collection the whole time. But what I did notice too, and from all the leaks from the Bitty Pops, I did notice, and I think they should have done, like we said, a mystery, kind of like what they're doing with the Jurassic World, the Pocket Pops.
Yes.
They have them in that little ember thing. I think they should have done that. That's the closest thing we can get to like maybe a soda, or just a mystery. You're not going to know what it is. It's only going to be that specific line. And just, they could have built off of the Pocket Pops, because I like the Pocket Pops. They're in the Advent calendars. And I think those are, if I had to choose, I would probably get the Pocket Pops just because they're a little bit more to display and you can maybe build around those. But yeah, I do like how they are going to do like the Funko at the HQ. I do like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I do agree with you. And it's funny you talk about the Doorables, because I've actually met people through social media that actually are local, and they're like, oh, like it's a big thing here. Like I didn't realize like it's a thing. And I've had friends who are like, hey dude, while you're hunting for pops, can you look for these Doorables, or have you seen these? Do you know? I'm like, I was like, dude, I didn't even know you collect that. You look like a country guy. He's like, oh, they're for my wife. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, but we love buying them as a family. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. So
yeah,
that's just my thoughts.
I'm happy you bring up the Pocket Pops though, because ultimately those are what should have been Bitty Pops. They always
that's what they should have done.
Yeah, totally, because that is actually closer to adorable. They only ever made those in really random stuff, then they became a thing only for the Advent calendars, and then here, there, like. Now I'm just thinking about it.
It was just weird because it's like they had the model there for them to just use. And even if they wanted to go, because obviously the biggest difference between a pocket pop or a keychain, even because those are very similar, minus the hook, obviously on the keychain, and a bitty pop is obviously like those are just like a figure. The bitty pop was the aspect of like the box. You got a pop in a
Yeah.
small version, right? So they were different,
Yes.
but they should have ran with the fact that okay, we're doing these other ones in like a mystery style or like blind bag or whatever it is, and just done it with the square case versions, but in a mystery style or in a blind bag or whatever it is, or have been introduced into some Avid calendars or whatever they want to do, right? Like they already had the workings of it and they just didn't do it. So it was just weird. But I mean, I do want to talk about a couple of things like we mentioned before. Obviously, the Bitty City. So that's literally what it's called, Bitty Pop Bitty City is like these roads. There's different packs. There's also like they call pin packs, which are basically because they have little holes in these. So like the pin
Yes.
packs are like a small little. It's almost like what's that damn game that you would play at like a restaurant with the like golf or whatever, and you would like move the little pins in the holes. Like
Oh, I know
you know what I'm
exactly what
talking
you're
about?
talking
That's
about.
like the
Yeah, yeah.
style of like what it looks like. So you would pop them into these things, and it just seems like I mean, from what I'm seeing, and I'm looking at a few different posts, it seems like the community's not really liking all of this stuff right now. There's even this is hilarious, but on one of the Distrackers pages on the Bitty City, there's a there's an IG page. The IG page is literally called Funko Bitty Pop.
Okay.
And their comment is, "This is going to be interesting. Not sure if we needed this." Like, I'm like, geez, like of all people, you think that person would like it, right? So, yeah, it's just we're getting that crazy stuff, and then we also have holiday ones. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
saw those.
Yep.
So they're now getting into ornaments. So now we got Bitty Pop ornaments. So these are literally the square Bitty Pops, and then they could just be put into
You
like
can
a
plug and
little,
play them.
yeah, like the ornament is like around it. So it's like you just pop it in there. Now it's part of an ornament. There's like a big set. You can get individual ones. Another ridiculous product that they're coming out with. And then we're getting a countdown calendar,
It's
which
replacing the pocket
is
pops.
replacing it. So it is like them doing these versions, but for like a advent calendar, quote unquote. And then the countdown calendar little thing is like it looks like a tree, and you fit them into the tree. It's like the way, like obviously it's another thing. Displays. We're getting more displays. So like we started getting the original ones was like the Star Wars one, right? And then we got Ninja Turtles, I think was one, right? A few of those came out. Now we're getting a Princess Castle, we're getting a Pixar ball, we're getting a Spider-Man. So like they're really really running with this. And I don't know, it's just not something I see. I mean, obviously it's doing well. They're selling them, but I just think they're just
There's so,
ridiculous.
like you said, there's too many. Like to me, the best product out of all of these is the one we talked about a few weeks ago, and I still don't remember the official name. Like the Bitty Box, the ones I think we talked about them with Tristan. They're the
Mhm.
ones that I consider to be like a Polly Pocket or a Mighty
Yeah.
Max. I feel like those have the most potential for kids because like the Bitty Pops actually fit in there and you can play with it. Kids love having a playhouse and playing with their figures or whatever. But the reason they made Bitty Pop so actually is I always want to compare them to Doorables, but are you familiar with like the mini brands?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's really what this product was supposed to be. And it just like also just it didn't hit.
But Mini Brands is massive.
No, it's huge, but I mean
Completely
like
different.
yeah, but I think them being that freaking small,
Mhm.
I actually think it's weird. They probably thought they were funny. How you're a box collector, you're out of box collector. I
Yeah.
think the fact that they made it like in the box and you can take them off is also that I think we're hung up on that makes them just kind of strange. If I'm being honest,
Yeah. No, it
like
does. And
yeah,
sometimes the print isn't good and it
yeah,
looks bad. Like that's why I agree. I've always been more of a pocket pop fan. If I had to get a small little version of a pop, right? Like those seem to have more detail. They look a little cooler. Like who cares about the box part of it? And I'm an inbox collector, but like I didn't need a mini version of the inbox collecting. Like the fact that it was mini was because it was smaller and you can
yeah.
just toss them in a bag or a crate or something. You didn't have to really display them if you didn't want to. and you take them out if you want to put them
The problem is
somewhere.
the pocket pops need to be a little smaller. That's like another thing. It's super funny because my son will have like his pocket pops from his advent calendars and plays with the doorables, and they actually look huge compared to the doorables. And it's not like the doorables are super mini. That's like another thing. Funko actually probably needed the baby of a pocket pop, and a freaking bitty pop would have been the appropriate size.
Something in the middle. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. It's just, it's not
They're
it
not
for
going
me.
away.
I don't know why. Like they're just going crazy with these, and like Trey said, they have the HQ. Like they want you to build this whole little town, and like
Where
Charlie
are
was
you gonna
saying,
put
like
it?
that's what I'm saying. Like even the displays, like yeah, you put them up on a wall, or maybe you could stand them. I guess you stand them up, but like how many can you put? Where are you gonna put them? Like they take a lot of space, even though they're bitty, but they're like the display is pretty big, and then it's like I don't know. It's just a strange product, in my opinion. And I don't think they dropped it the way they should have. And now it's just getting a little too excessive. We just have too much stuff. And like you said, the arcade ones, like those are super cool. Like the idea is like cool. Yeah, you got the little thing, you put it inside a little arcade. It's essentially having a bitty papa just like in a holder, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, you buy it, it's 100% sold to look like an action figure that you are disgraced if you ever opened, or a Hot Wheels, right? Like you can hang them and you do not open this in the plastic little cover. But then again, like the whole aspect of that has two pieces. You have to put one into the other to make it like really be what it's supposed to be. And to do that, you have to open it because they're not in the box like that. So yeah, it's a little weird.
I just also don't want them, and they're gonna do it. I thought those were con exclusives when they first announced them. They're just debuting at WonderCon, and like they really should only be.
Oh, they're not exclusive though?
No, they're not. It's like a debut. They should have been exclusives, and they should only be things that actually had arcade cabinets, like Tron. Wreck-It Ralph is funny because it had that, and they actually made that when they were promoting the movie. But like
Sonic is one of them.
Yeah, Sonic is one of them, which is cool. I can envision them coming out with like I don't know enough about Friday Night at Freddy's or whatever that game's called. I don't know if an arcade game is actually part of the story line of that. But like to me, that shouldn't be in a vintage 80s like arcade cabinet toy. And I'm afraid they're gonna do that. Like, are we gonna get a Fortnite one of this? Like it just that's where it's like Funko once again will, take a good thing that could have been cool and they just like make way too many of them. That's where I stand. Like they should be making the old Ninja Turtles game that we had growing up, or like the Simpsons,
or Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, like cool stuff like that, not just like modernized video games. Maybe they won't.
But just don't make biddies at all. You do that.
You're actually making me not like biddies as much, Megs.
It's too much.
I just like
it's too much, and they're too small, and
that's the problem. And they just
I
haven't
don't. So now here's the thing. Okay, so there is something that they're making here. It looks like so they have like bitty cases. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a bitty case, and it's essentially 12 of these like biddies, and one is going to be like gold.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like they're always in gold or just this one is in gold, right?
That's like hunting the chase of the mystery ones. We actually talked about this. It's like buying a case of the. That's like the ones they sell 5 and below.
You get all of them. Where you get all of them though. So these are the ones that are actually numbered, like 1 in 8, 1 of 8, 1 of 32.
But isn't it saying, and correct me, maybe I misinterpret it, when they're saying case, it's like you can buy the entire case that would be in a 5 below.
Yeah, but you get one of the gold ones. What I'm saying is you're getting one of everyone. Okay. Like you're gonna guarantee it essentially. So like there's like a retro toys one. I think there's a Star Wars or Harry Potter one, and it's just like I don't know.
Oh, whoa! I'm just realizing. I'm looking at a picture now. The new 4-packs don't have mysteries anymore. I don't know if you even noticed that. Like the new Pokemon one, it's just 4.
But there's also one that has a chase. Like the Hello Kitty ones have a chase sticker.
Yeah, the Marvel one is like
just
that
all
too.
over. They do not know what to do.
Yeah, there's a chase sticker on it. Yeah, there's Pokemon, there's Marvel, and
I didn't notice that they were different. I'm just so like, I guess numb to
It's
seeing them.
too many. It's too much. But yeah, we're getting a Star Wars, a Stranger Things, and a Harry Potter of the cases
Yeah.
where technically this was kind of like what we liked, like a blind back, where
Yep.
it was like 1 in 12, 1 in 12, 1 in
Yeah.
24. And, like obviously the gold one was in there. And then same thing for the Harry Potter and the Stranger Things. But I don't know, man. It's just not it at all. And yeah, more pocket pops. We got princess pocket pops as well as a Jurassic Park, similar to like the ones you were saying in the egg, but these are in like a jewel or something.
Yeah.
So there's just so much Funko product coming out, and it's kind of just like Charlie kind of said earlier, is this is the Funko that we now will know. It's just a massive toy company.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna make everything. They're no longer which is now we have other products like Rokimoto and even Trojoy technically because they're numbered. Some stuff is numbered and doesn't exist, but like they're numbered. So we still have that. Funko is not that anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just I guess it's just the way it is. And it's like, it's pop culture. So if you like something, more likely than not, there's gonna be a Funko product of that. And yeah, they even make, dude, we're going way off
Let's
with
do
this
it.
one, but they even make like Funko minis. Do you see those? Sold at Five Below,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
Disney. And that's a whole nother product.
They're
What
just
the
making
hell?
tons of those now for Five Below.
Yeah, Disney, like the dogs, basically.
Which in reality, they should be making
Why are they
like
called Funko minis? What's so many mini products? They want to have each size, like every incremental inch in a different product. Like,
But dude, these are the products that are Tales all the time. They've had for a while, but what they've done now is they've turned it to a Five Below product. There was a point where these were cool and they came out in Target. I'll just use an example, very sporadically for a set. And you could chase them and it was fun and they were mystery. But Funko decided to let's just put like a freaking window on them. And then even with that, like these are cool one-offs if there's like a character that you like, they make one-piece ones that are cool, but I would take these out of the box. Like I don't it's weird because the ones that have I'm really going off on a tangent, but Five Below will make ones with the open window, but you get the same ones in the mystery box and they sell it like Entertainment Earth. It's like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
that's weird.
Yeah.
Because Trey, I know you like the mystery minis.
I do like the mystery minis, and that's why I go to Five Below so I can see what mystery minis they have, and if I'm missing some or see what I just get it there because I actually had the Leo from the Ninja Turtle ones, but the sword broke off. Me and Carly made. I mean, I remember when they dropped, and we bought 2 cases.
You were certain, yeah.
Yeah, we bought 2 cases, and one of the Leos. Or the Leo I had, which was funny because it was like one out of 6. The only one I got, the sword was broken. So I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to super glue it. So I was like, oh, Five Below. I went to Five Below, they had it, paid $5. And I knew what I was getting. Opposed to risking and buying more.
That's crazy.
It's just, yeah, oh man. It's sad. One product, though, to change it a little bit with Funko that I want to talk about what you guys think, because once again, they're just a toy company. They're coming out with basically their own version of Hot Wheels called Funko Racers. But I did a little digging. These came out in 2018 for Friday Night at Freddy's only. I don't know how I've never heard of this product. I don't know if either of you did. But now they're coming out with, rumors are, Turtles and Sonic the Hedgehog ones. I think this is a smart product for them. I do think these will be popular, but it's like, once again, they're just making products for everything now. They are, I don't want to keep saying it, but they're just a toy company. They're not a collectible company anymore.
That's true. That is true because I had no idea that they had, Hot Wheel like products. But will I get them? I know me and you, Charlie, we actually talked about you sent me some of the Hot Wheels ones. What are they called?
The racers, like my son.
Racerverse.
I mean, I've passed on my collecting gene to my son. He collects those. They are actually super cool.
They do look cool. And I remember you actually sent me that 4-pack of the turtles, and I was like, oh, dude, I wish I would have responded or saw it sooner. I would have been like, yeah, get it. Those look cool.
Since
I know, dude. I go to my Target all the time, and I was like, I wish I would have messaged him sooner. But yeah, those look cool. I mean, again, I am not by any means a huge Hot Wheels person. I will not go down that rabbit hole, but I mean, yeah, Ninja Turtle ones like the ones you sent me, those look cool. I guess we'll have to see how these look because I mean, if it looks like that, I mean, they're pretty much identical. I'm pretty sure they'll look
They are.
just as cool.
It's just funny though. These are what they should be promoting to race on the Bitty City,
They should.
not
They should.
cars that don't move.
Yeah, they should.
a lot of nonsense. They're making too much stuff. I mean, I don't want to keep bringing up random products, but they also have the Nooks. Have you seen the Nooks?
Oh yeah.
Top Nooks,
Yeah.
another product.
I mean, yeah. Is that supposed to be like for a bookshelf? Book stands?
I guess like a bookend, but it's a square. Like,
well, they're trying, dude. It's funny. They're
know.
really trying to make products now where like stuff's in a box, but it looks like it's not in a box. Because now I'm really gonna go off on a tangent. Because when you get your NFT Funko royalty pop
Here goes.
and the entire Funko Pop inbox for the monsters, you don't even see the pop in the box. It's just like, what? Who made that? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, total tangent. But it's just like their quality control these days of like what they're doing for certain things is just like all over. I think they're just throwing. I envision there being a meeting. They're legitimately just throwing everything at the wall, and they don't even care if it sticks. They're putting it into production.
Those should have been like in a deluxe box, so you can see the actual product, not just
or just design it better so that it wasn't all the way to the left. Like that made no sense. Like if you guys didn't see this, I mean, I'm trying to pop it up.
Or they could have flipped it over to the other side. That would have been a little bit different.
Better. So yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't have that product. But like going back to like the Nooks thing, it's like it literally looks like it's a Funko Pop without the box. Like it's still in a casing, but it has no name on the front.
Like the diecast,
Yeah,
casing.
it's like, but why come on? And I don't know the size of these. I'm assuming they look kind of like a regular Funko Pop, but it's like, why are you making so much crap? I don't know. It's just too much stuff. Not a fan of it. Honestly, this is kind of funny too. I think we should bring this up now because we see Funko and it looks like they're just like not doing well. Like what is going on? But then like we just got reports that came out of how they actually finished the year and they're making a lot of money.
Biddies.
So yeah, so full year and the fourth quarter report stuff came out. It looks like they were up like 30%. I was seeing $100 million. So they like really they were in a pretty big debt. Obviously, we kind of talked about before when a lot of stuff was happening. They had to get rid of stuff, and they kind of dug themselves out of a lot of that debt. But it's kind of, I don't know. Like it's just like obviously they're not dying because we know they still exist and they're coming out and they're still making money. But it's like, where are they making the money? It's kind of funny because I didn't think. I mean, maybe you know what? I think I figured it out. Just thinking about it now. It was all that aluminum from the sodas. That's the only reason why they were losing money. The only reason why they were losing money. Who cares if they come out with shitty products? They just can't be paying for that aluminum.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, the problem is though, man, I think we're just such super Funko fans. It bothers us more, but people still like to buy these things, even when we see shelf warmers.
Makes money, like they're just selling shit all the time.
Yeah, it's just that's what they are. I still think though they could turn it around where they appease everyone. I just don't think anyone who works for the company knows how to do that. I actually think Mike and Brian knew how to do it, but they didn't listen to them. And that's why they were like, peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cynthia clearly is not that person. I mean,
she's making the money, bro.
Well, exactly. Money. That's why they brought her in.
Yep,
which isn't, I mean, that is her job at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing a good job. And she's only ever been nice. She was nice when we met her.
Yeah.
She makes a point. She does go to all the cons, but she's kind of behind the scenes. Will do the little press that she needs to do, show face, but she's super nice. But it doesn't look like they're reinventing the wheel.
Yeah. Very interesting. We also got a new NFT set that was announced officially, which is the Avatar. This is actually series 2 of this. And I don't know, did they do this the first time? Like how they have like Legend of
They
Korra has
mixed
its
Korra
own.
and Avatar.
They did that last time too?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
This set is going to be an instant sellout. They're going to have 2 sellouts in a row. One thing they're doing right, it seems like, I correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I doubt any of you will know this off the top of your head unless we look it up. Pretty sure that Aang Grail is still the highest. It is the most expensive sought after Grail in the entire NFT Funko world.
This one's probably going to be a big deal too.
This is going to be a big deal. The royalty is fire. I mean, it's Proto as Appa. It's hilarious the way the NFTs work, though. It's like no one buys them. They burn a ton of them, sell out. They're going to have another sellout in a row. Let's see if they can keep that momentum. But it's just interesting. I look at it this, so they should only come out with sets that they know everyone's going to like, and they should be far and few between compared to how it's normally been.
Mm-hmm.
But we know they're not going to do that.
Yeah. I like the pops. They look cool. I've never watched Avatar. I saw Avatar a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do like how they have, usually they have the sticker if it says glow in the dark, if it says metallic, but now it's on the box.
I didn't even notice that.
That is kind of
for the
cool.
metallic and for the
for both of them. I think that's pretty cool. That way you don't have to worry about stickers falling off,
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. The the royalty one is
flocked.
Yeah, flocked.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool because I think that might be the first flocked NFT. Yeah, I could be wrong.
It may be. Let us know in the comments if it's not. But
that one is pretty cool. I definitely like it. Will I go for any of these? Probably not. But I'm sure hopefully it sells out. And that way they can be like, okay, let's change this and let's start putting out good
go
stuff.
for these, Trey?
Why?
Because if you pull a grail, you'll get any grail you want. That I'll tell you.
But if I don't have the
sitting
Leo
on a bunch
grill.
of crap. I'm not a big Avatar fan per se, so I'm not like, oh, these are great, but they look awesome. Like the details are really, really good on them. And then the fact that we are getting a metallic, we're getting a glow, we're getting a flock, that's a mix is good. Like in the past, we've kind of gotten all of them being glow or all of them being metallic or none of them. And that was always kind of cheesy when they did it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I like how this kind of fits to it. Like the glow one makes sense. Like, look at her. Okay, that makes sense that would glow. The metallic one, he's wearing like all this metal armor stuff, so that makes sense that it'll be metallic. The Appa is obviously a animal, so flock makes sense. So like, I like that it's not like just random. They actually do make sense that they're those variants or whatever. But March 18th is when this drop comes out, so next week. So obviously, if you're going after this, good luck. Because
hear me out on this.
Probably will sell out.
Looking at this though right now, obviously it's easy money for Funko, but what they're doing with the NFTs should actually become the collectors, quote unquote, lines, and doesn't need to be involved with NFTs anymore. In my opinion, like most people get hyped around most of these pops. They're limited edition. This could be a way for Funko to distinguish themselves from what's quote unquote become their toys and what's now their collectible line, because still people, as long as drop's been now around, people still don't understand NFTs. There's plenty of people still out there. They don't want to get them, how to get them. They don't want to be involved in them. You either an NFT believer or not. A lot of the Funko fandom, you have their core NFT believers, and there's other people who just do these drops because they want the pops. It's almost just like get rid of, still do NFTs and make them more traditional, just digital NFTs that are worth more money. And I know this is just totally random off topic, but like this is Funko sitting on a great idea to get their fans back, because I actually think more people would buy some of these Funko Pops if they were limited edition. They would sell them all out, guaranteed buying these Funko Pops.
Like actually do the drops like they used to on the Funko shop.
Yes.
Like, hey, this is, I mean, yeah, they haven't done that. I mean, yes, they do their weekly drops, right?
But they're done.
It's not,
even the One Piece ones don't sell out anymore.
They don't do limited stuff. That's why. That's what it is.
The reason they like to do it with the NFTs because it's free money for them, basically, and people, it's I don't want to say gambling, but they're making so much money by buying off these people with these packs. But they're also, I want your guys' opinion. I feel like the community as a whole would be more excited for the Funko brand if they turn this more into just like a collector line that had nothing to do with NFTs. Or am I crazy?
I'm just waiting for the first Bitty NFT.
Good.
I know Migs will go pretty hard on those packs. Pause. But yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if there was anything else big you guys want to talk about.
I
think that was
basically the mostly. I mean, we've had a few, drops. We had like the Goof Troop or the Goofy movie. Like a few WWE stuff. Like we had a few other things. Nothing that's like, oh my goodness. But
no, just they are coming out with new product, but it's kind of just like I feel like we've become a little numb to it, unfortunately, because of the way they've handled these drops. It just is what it is, unfortunately.
I mean, they are going to start up the whole baseball pops and stuff like that, like the Lucille, which is cool.
I like that,
especially the mascots. I do like the mascots. It's funny because I don't really tell that many people, but I do have the majority of the second line. I'm still missing a few, but still on the hunt for some of the OG ones as well.
It's funny you say that. That is a line I'm so upset I didn't collect. I only got like the Mr. Matt. And like I really wish I collected all of them because like that is such a great part of I feel like a fandom of a sport collection where like it's not a player, it's always pretty cool. But I do want to bring up a topic that you just made me think about. In the quarterly reports for Funko, Cynthia was quoted saying that they're going to go harder into sports, music, and games.
Well, I mean, they actually announced that they were going to do more games, and they actually did like the Astro Boy or the Astro Bot or whatever. And then they had the exclusive one we had to pre-order, and then now they have another one coming out. So
I just thought it was interesting. She mentioned sports. Because we always say how like we don't think they handle sports correctly, and
maybe she's a big sports fan, and we don't know.
Yeah,
I think she just listens to us, and
I agree.
We've been talking about
hopefully she's a Red Sox fan, and
we're gonna get trading cards.
Stuff.
They're gonna start coming out with trading cards. They should make Pokemon Funko cards. Dude, go wild. You already
sports Funko cards. You already said that. Yeah. So I think that'll be it. I mean, we had a lot of good stuff.
It's the good
definitely
stuff.
Let us know what you guys think. Obviously, the big main stuff was the Rokimoto stuff. That's now kind of the big hype right now. So we're going to see kind of where that goes, where the company goes. Bitty is everywhere. So see how long that lasts and what's going on with Bitties, what goes on with that. But let us know down below on any of the stuff that we talked about. Obviously, definitely make sure you guys are commenting. We'll, answer back to you. If you haven't noticed, we've been kind of filling in some time here with some like pack breaks, opening up stuff. I finally started getting recordings.
Yeah, I need to do my part. It's coming.
Yeah, now I'm pretty excited for some of the stuff I pulled. We do still have some Pokemon boxes. Speaking of Pokemon, that we want to open.
Yes,
probably do it on a live. We got to figure out like when we can do this.
How we want to do it.
Yeah, we definitely still have those to open up. So
Yeah. Let us know if you want us to do a live or an episode.
Yeah. Let us know that.
We'll rip it however.
We want to make that fun and special, and like maybe it's a reason to come to the YouTube channel if you only listen to us on podcast platforms, because it's definitely more exciting to watch us do that than just listen to us.
Yeah, of course. And then not only that, like we can answer questions, while we're opening packs, and you'll be featured on the episode because more likely we're gonna try to figure out a way to make that live into an episode as well. So
exactly. So,
and we're growing. So we are at currently, as of today, we are at 812 subscribers.
Go.
We definitely
boom!
want to get to 1,000 before the end of the year.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
definitely, we appreciate all the support, everybody liking the content, and if you're new, stay tuned for much more, because that's what we're gonna bring to you guys.
And obviously,
Sure.
as usual, if you aren't following us, you can follow us at Collector Chatter on Instagram, and that at STX_collectibles, at pop_Migs, and at collect_Charlie. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, we really appreciate that. As always, make sure you leave us a review over there, answer our questions, leave some comments over there, and then also come on over to the YouTube channel, where you can, as the guys just mentioned, there's been a lot of rip videos on here. We even had NFT videos, which we haven't had in a while. Definitely throwing out some other stuff. So come watch it over here. But please subscribe to the channel, like this video, shoot down some comments, let us know what you want to see, and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos are coming out. But with that being said, collecting is the way. Until next episode, later.
Peace out.
Later.